Okay, so I'm finna get right into this video. I'm not sure how I'm gonna title it. This one is definitely gonna like get some people. Okay, so I am going to start off by saying that I do not think you need emergency savings. I think an emergency savings is pointless. I think high yield savings accounts are pointless. I think the idea of keeping 3 to 6 months of emergency expenses sitting in a savings account is pointless. This isn't financial advice. I'm not telling you what to do, but this is what I do. I keep all of my emergency savings in United States Treasury bill ETFs, specifically 0 to 3 month short-term bonds. So unlike savings accounts, they are 100% exempt from state and local taxes. That's not a huge thing, but that's one thing, right? The whole point, right? This is where high yield savings accounts become pointless. The whole point of a savings account or an emergency savings is for it to be accessible 24/7 in case of an emergency. The thing is, if you have money in short-term US Treasury bill ETFs, you can access it 24/7 at a sub 5% interest rate. That's pennies. Like, you can access it for pennies a day. Pennies. I'm not going to get into specifics or examples. If you want to, from what I'm saying, if you want to do further research into it, they got all type of AI things. You can run all the different scenarios. Okay. So someone says, well, what if they go to zero? What if they become worthless? Okay. So the probability of United States T-bills going to zero is about right above zero. So like 0.01. Like, I wouldn't even give it 1%. I would give it 0.01. Like, that is the actual chance, because they're backed by the full faith and credit of the United States government, and they're recognized as like a risk-free asset class. So, okay. Right? So I wanna really get people to understand what I'm doing. I don't keep cash. It's pointless. I would rather have my money in T-bills. If the in a lot of and I try to reason, I try to understand this whole 3 to 6 month saving thing, but if the money is in the same, if it's, let's just say you need $10,000, that's pretty high. I'm gonna say that's pretty high. Maybe today, you know what I'm saying, with prices and stuff, maybe that's not high. But I'm gonna say this later. Let's just say you need a $10,000 emergency, like that's your 6 month expenses, $10,000. You lose your job, whatever. But let's just say you got $25,000 saved up, right? You got $25,000 you saved up, right? It only makes sense to me, I'm not giving you financial advice, this is just what I do, to put that money, if you want the $10,000 as your emergency savings and you want to take advantage of the exemption from state and local taxes, which depending on your state and depending on your city, that could mean something. Then you could have it in short-term United States Treasury bills, which has a super low probability of becoming worthless. If they become worthless, then everything's collapsed. The whole thing, the whole financial system then collapsed. So it doesn't make sense to bet against Treasury bills. I was just watching. I've been doing this for a long time though, but I was watching. I'm not going to even throw no names out there, but I do watch a few other financial YouTubers, and a lot of them talk about keeping their money in cash equivalents. They're T-bills. Kevin O'Leary talks about it. T-bills. He talks about having $5 million in T-bills as a base, and they're based. I wouldn't say you need $5 million per se in them, but depending on the level you're at, with the T-bills, it can provide cushion that is similar to that. It all depends on the lifestyle that you have. Like if you're just a single person by yourself, you might not need 5 million to get the same outcome. You get what I'm saying? That's just my personal opinion, not financial advice. So, okay. The mirage of bank safety. I pulled this up on AI actually, so I'm just, I'm reading these points off some bullet points. So people who brag about having $100,000 safe in a checking account or an FDIC insured savings account don't understand systemic risk. FDIC insurance, backed by the U.S. government. If the U.S. government defaults on its bonds, the FDIC cannot save your bank. So you have to understand how the whole system is really, you got to understand what's propping up the system to understand why I don't have a savings account and why I don't see the reason to have a savings account. I literally cannot think of a reason to have a high yield savings account. I don't understand how they market that to people still when, they got short-term Treasury bill ETFs. I'm not going to recommend any. Do your own research. So basically, stop trapping your cash. Keeping massive amounts of money in a checking account to feel safe is a financial illusion. That I did get off, something I pulled up off one of these AI things, but it really is, because what is the difference between 10,000 in a T-bill ETF and $10,000 in a checking account? I can't understand the reason why someone would do that at this point, knowing that you could borrow at a sub 5% interest rate. And by utilizing short-term government debt as a portfolio collateral, you maximize tax efficiency. Like I said, they're exempt from state and local taxes, and it's one of those things where it's like, if the U.S. Treasury goes to, if the bonds go to zero, T-bills, the whole thing is over. The house of cards then fail. Everything, all bets is off. So it's that's my whole thing at this point, is understanding how to keep your dollars working for you. And I'm would rather use my equity from my T-bills and buy it back. But I can, with bonds, I can keep it open as long as I want to. I can keep the loan that I have against myself is open as long as I want to, because they don't drop in price. So I can keep it open for 6 months. I can keep it open for a year. However long the emergency, and some emergencies are bigger than others. So, but it's once I use that money, it's not gone. That's the biggest thing that people don't get. If you keep it in a savings account, when you spend it, it's gone. When I spend it, it's not gone. The equity is just, it's not gone. I still have that amount working, and I still have that amount paying me in interest for the amount of shares that I have. It's just the equity. The equity is, I'm just borrowing the equity from it. So an emergency savings account is useless. High yield savings account is useless. It makes absolutely no sense in 2026 moving forward. You have to start thinking creatively. You have to start thinking outside the box. You have to understand all of these. You got to start thinking outside the box. You have to understand that the bank is lending your money out. They're using the fractional reserve system. Once you understand all of that, and you understand that you could give yourself short-term loans at a sub 5, and the more your account is, the lower the rate is. The collateral, when you borrow against stocks, the collateral, the interest rates go lower the higher the actual portfolio is. So again, I'm dropping points. Do research on the points that I'm mentioning. But again, this is what I do. I'm not going to lie to you. One day I don't necessarily think I might show my bank account one day, but basically between when I get paid, I pay all my bills, do what I need to do, and invest everything, and I leave like $100 in my checking account. Really, like, if I fill my car up with gas, I might leave less than that, honestly, because if I need to pull out any amount of money, I mean, if I need I can't even think of an emergency that I couldn't get from my T-bills right now. Like, there is no $40,000 plus $50,000 plus emergency. Like, what could happen at that point? Like, some emergencies are kind of just like not even practical. Like, okay, you lose your job. Okay, like, I got a whole year's worth of rent. I got a whole year's worth of my phone bill, insurance. Like, cool. Car blows up. The car just blew up and caught on fire. Someone totaled it. Okay, cool. 10,000. I can go get a decent used car. I mean, it's nothing that is gonna happen that I can't borrow against myself to instantly get the cash to go fix. So it makes no sense for me to keep it in a high yield savings. I'm not maximizing my money. I'm not maximizing what it can do for me. It's not in the best place for me to, it's not in the best place for me. And this is where, like I said, the whole Dave Ramsey, it's like these people are really talking to people who do not want to think for themselves. That's something, like, if you don't want to think for yourself, if you feel like you cannot think for yourself, if you cannot think creatively, you got people if someone is talking about, every time I see a video where someone's talking about a Roth IRA, any type of Roth IRA, or high yield save, like these people don't even think for themselves. Like, you're not thinking. You're literally not thinking. Because if you were, you'd understand that, yes, it's a tax drag with the brokerage account, but if you think creatively and you understand how to make your money work for you and how to build a bank out of your portfolio and how to, margin call, borrow against a bond portfolio. It's practically 0% chance of a margin call. Nothing 0%, sun can fall out the sky. Great, but I'm not banking on that. I'm for sure not betting on that. So, like I said, if the T-bills fail, the whole system didn't fail. So, I mean, I'm going to end it with that. If somebody want to talk to me in the comments or reach out, I'm more than willing to debate. These ideas that I'm talking about, I'm willing to debate. I'm willing to die on this hill, though. This one, saving money is pointless. You need it in 2026, every single dollar you have, you need to be trying to get the maximum usage. It needs to be in the best place possible. If you watch the video to, this, I appreciate it. Like, comment, and subscribe, and tune in for the next video.